The Dogman is Real, a collection of recent 2023 Dogman sightings sent in to us by you, our viewers. If you have a Dogman story you would like us to adapt for the show, email it to us at scarystoriesnyc@gmail.com and we'll get back to you about it. And now on to our first email, which is entitled, Chased by the Dogman. Dear Scary Stories NYC, I write this down, trembling hands barely able to grip the pen, hoping to convey the horror that I faced on that fateful night in rural Michigan. The memory haunts me, tainting the once peaceful serenity of the woods forever etched in my mind. It was an encounter, a supernatural nightmare that defied all reason and logic, something unimaginable that I barely survived. That thing that chased me, the immense creature known as the Michigan Dogman, had a face larger than the head of a lion. It was an abomination born of nightmares. It all started innocently enough, with a desire to escape the cacophony of city life and immerse myself in the tranquility of nature. Nestled deep within the remote reaches of South Higgins Lake State Park in Michigan, I found solace in a secluded campsite. They have places to park your camper, but I walked off into the woods with my backpack full of camping equipment instead. Surrounded by towering trees, their leaves whispered soothing secrets under the pale moonlight. I hung my hammock, and I reveled in the solitude. I couldn't hear any other campers from where I was, and initially, that made me very happy. I had brought a sleeping bag with me but no tent, so I laid it out next to the fire pit I had dug for myself. As darkness cloaked the land, I nestled within my sleeping bag, the crackling of the campfire providing a sense of security. The nocturnal soundscape of crickets and distant hooting owls provided a soothing lullaby that eased me into a peaceful sleep. Little did I know, tranquility would soon be ripped away from me, replaced by sheer terror. In the dense shadows of the forest, a low guttural growl penetrated the veil of my dreams. But then it happened again, and I was certain that it came from outside my dream, back in the waking world of reality. My eyes darted open, heart pounding against my chest, as if it sought to escape this impending nightmare. I listened intently, only to be greeted by silence, the forest seemingly holding its breath. Ignorance held my curiosity hostage, and against my better judgment, I slipped out of my sleeping bag, my senses sharp, as I strained to decipher the origin of the sound. Venturing a few steps into the unnerving darkness, a peculiar musky scent invaded my nostrils, assaulting my senses with a kind of fear that I bet the caveman felt. Something wasn't right, and an unsettling feeling coiled within me. A sense of being watched consumed my being, every hair on my body standing at attention. It was then that I heard it again, closer this time, an even lower growl, far deeper and even more unsettling. A knot tightened in my gut, and my survival instincts screamed for me to flee. But the paralysis of fear held me in its clutches, rendering my legs as useless as gelatin. Suddenly, from the shadows, emerged a behemoth of terror, a monstrous creature the likes of which no man should ever encounter. Standing before me was the Dogman itself, a creature of nightmares, its majestic body dwarfing my own. Towering on hind legs, it had a grotesque amalgamation of canine and human features. Its snout was elongated, its teeth sharp as daggers. Its eyes gleamed like liquid fire, seething with an uncanny intelligence that chilled me to the core. Without warning, it lunged at me, a blur of matted fur and claws. Adrenaline surged through my veins, snapping me out of my shocked stupor. Swiftly, I turned on my heels, my pounding heart urging my legs to carry me to safety. But the monstrous creature was unrelenting, its strides covering ground effortlessly, gaining on me with each passing moment. I ran, stumbling over exposed roots and fallen branches that seemed to grasp at my fleeing form. Behind me, the thunderous footsteps of the Dogman echoed, filling the forest with a truly dark rhythm of doom. I could hear its brutal growls, so close that I swore I could smell the monster dog's breath. Miraculously, I found a small clearing that offered salvation. Without looking back, I threw myself behind a large fallen tree trunk, praying that it would shield me from the wrath of this terrifying entity. Fear consumed every fiber of my being, my breath uneven and frantic, as I clung to the hope that I might yet cheat death. Minutes stretched into an eternity as I hid, my senses attuned to the beast lurking nearby. The growls grew fainter, replaced by an eerie silence. Fear clung to me, refusing to release its grip, until I was convinced the creature had moved on, its terrifying presence confined to this nightmarish encounter. Covered in sweat and dirt, I finally dared to emerge from my hiding place, my surroundings slowly coming into focus. The forest, now devoid of danger, welcomed me back into its meek embrace. I stumbled back to my campsite, gathering my belongings with trembling hands. As I trudged away, my heart pounding with every step, I couldn't shake the image of that immense dogman from my mind. It was an encounter that defied all reason. It had chances to take me down if it was seeing me as food. But it didn't do that. It seemed as though it just wanted to make sure I felt bad, and it had no other mission. It wanted to remind me that the woods aren't really any more peaceful or safe than the city at all. I was there to relax, but that dogman deliberately ruined my peaceful night. And although I survived, I find no comfort in the knowledge, knowing that such unspeakable horrors may lurk in the darkest corners of our everyday world, waiting to unleash themselves on the unwary. I think the main lesson I learned from this experience is that there is no such thing as being paranoid when it comes to being out in nature alone. I was acting like I was watching a movie about nature, not actually experiencing it. And so nature decided to remind me to show more respect next time, and it reminded me in the form of the Michigan Dogman. Story 2. The Dogman Outside My Window. Dear Scary Stories NYC, ever since I divorced my husband, I had been craving solitude, a chance to heal and rediscover myself amid the turmoil that had consumed my life. In my quest to find solace, I had found a quaint little house nestled deep in the heart of the woods, yet not very far from a major highway. It was perfect, far away from prying eyes and the reminders of my shattered marriage. The first few weeks were filled with blissful peace and the soothing sounds of nature. I relished in the stillness, finding comfort in the rustle of leaves and the distant calls of wildlife. But as the days turned into nights, an unsettling feeling began to grow within me, piercing the veneer of tranquility I had so desperately sought. One evening I was sitting on my couch, engrossed in a book, when I saw movement out of the corner of my eye. I turned my head swiftly, my heart skipping a beat. There, standing just outside the window, was a creature unlike anything I had ever seen. It had the body of a hairy or furry ape-like man, tall and lean, but instead of a human head, it bore a particularly angry-looking cranium of a dog. Fear gripped me, freezing my body in place as its unnerving amber-colored eyes fixated on me. It stood upright, like a man, examining me as if trying to peer into the depths of my soul. I tried to convince myself that it wasn't really happening, but I could see the reflection of my own terrified face in the window glass, and I knew this was all taking place in the here and now. My stomach sank as I accepted that this was real, and even as the beast ran off, the terror within me continued to mount. Though I didn't see it again for some time, I couldn't ignore the feeling that the Dogman monster was watching my every move, lurking in the darkness just beyond my line of sight. Its presence haunted me, robbing me of peaceful sleep and leaving me on edge at all times. The outside world suddenly seemed evil, and the solitude I had yearned for now felt like a punishment. Days turned into weeks, and as my encounters with the dog-headed creature persisted, my fear transformed into curiosity. I became consumed by the need to understand what this strange being wanted from me. What was its purpose in invading my sacred space, my haven from the chaos of the outside world? Determined to find answers, I ventured outside, seeking any signs of its presence in the surrounding woods. But the creature remained elusive, a fleeting shadow in the corner of my eye. Its intermittent appearances continued, always lurking just beyond the reach of light, leaving me with more questions than ever before. My journey of self-discovery had taken an unexpected turn, thrusting me into a world of the supernatural, an existence where boundaries between reality and fantasy blended together. I had hoped for solitude, but I never anticipated the specter of this dog-headed creature haunting every corner of my mind. As the days grew shorter and winter settled in, I came to accept that maybe this creature was not meant to be understood. It was an enigma, a reminder that there are things in this world that defy explanation. Instead of fearing its presence, I chose to embrace it as a symbol of my own resilience, a reminder to be brave in the face of the unknown. And so as I sit here, gazing out of my window into the wintry landscape beyond, I no longer recoil in fear when those yellow eyes peer back at me. Instead, a sense of reverence washes over me, for I have come to realize that this strange dog-headed creature has become a part of me, an inseparable companion in my journey of healing and self-discovery. Story number 3. The Dogman is real and must be protected. As I sit here typing away on my laptop, I feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. I can't keep this secret any longer. The world needs to know the truth. Dogman is real, and he must be protected. You may think I'm crazy or delusional, but I assure you I am not. Ever since I was a young girl, I had a deep love for animals. I grew up surrounded by dogs, cats, and various other creatures who found solace in our home. But it wasn't until that fateful day a while back that my perception of the animal kingdom changed forever. It was early spring when I stumbled upon a mysterious article while doing some random internet surfing. The headline caught my attention immediately. Cryptid sightings. Dogman roams the wilderness. My curiosity got the better of me, and I clicked on it, prepared to dismiss it as just another urban legend. Little did I know, this would be the beginning of a thrilling and life-altering journey. The article described eyewitness accounts of an enormous creature, part man, part dog, living in the deep woods of America. Witness drawings accompanied these claims, and I found myself unable to look away. Intrigued, I began researching further, uncovering more stories, sightings, and testimonials from brave individuals who had encountered this incredible being. Tales of Dogman echoed throughout history, spanning centuries and crossing continents. The evidence proved overwhelming to me, irrefutable, and with each passing discovery, my fascination grew stronger. Now, unbeknownst to many, the Dogman possesses a higher level of intelligence, unmatched by any ordinary animal. He exhibits social behavior, empathy, and an ability to communicate non-verbally. His presence in the wild, misunderstood and feared, has made him a target for skeptics and for hunters alike. The thought of such a majestic creature facing danger and potential extinction, why, that broke my heart. I couldn't sit idly by and let this happen. It became my mission to shed light on the truth, to sway public opinion, and maybe to establish a legal protective status for Dogman. Of course, my mission has not come without criticism and ridicule. People dismiss me as a conspiracy theorist or an attention seeker, but I am neither. I am a woman on a heartfelt journey to protect one of nature's greatest mysteries, guided by the belief that every living being deserves respect and preservation. As I look out my window now, my heart pounds with anticipation. The time is rapidly approaching when I will release my findings, my comprehensive research on Dogman, to the world. I know this will be greeted with skepticism and resistance and, well, perhaps even scorn, but I am prepared to face it all. The truth must prevail, and awareness is the first step toward change. Dogman's very existence reminds us that we do not hold dominance over the natural world. Instead, we are but a part of it, and it is our duty to protect and cherish the wonders it harbors. So as I prepare to share my narrative with the world, I implore you to open your mind and your heart. In the vast realm of possibility, legends can intertwine with reality. Dogman is real, and he must be protected. It is up to us to ensure that this magnificent creature lives on, forever a symbol of untamed beauty, and our boundless connection with the natural world. Story number 4. The Dogman I have begun to know. I never thought my days would become so bizarre and unsettling. It all started when I graduated from high school just a few weeks ago. My life became a strange blend of excitement and trepidation as I prepared to leave my comfortable childhood behind and enter the world of adulthood. Little did I know that a mysterious creature would soon become a prominent figure in my life, lingering at the edges of my reality, like a specter haunting my thoughts. It was on a warm summer night. A peculiar blend of peace and uncertainty hung in the air. As I gazed out of my window, my thoughts drifting in countless directions, something caught my eye. There, in the woods behind our quaint little house, stood a surreal creature. It was unlike anything I had ever seen before, a dog-headed animal walking upright like a man. Its glossy, copper-colored fur shimmered in the moonlight, and its eyes sparkled with a mischievous intelligence. Curiosity mingled with fear, sending shivers down my spine. I found myself compelled to investigate further, driven by an inexplicable connection to this mysterious entity. The following evening, as the sun began its descent and cast long shadows through the trees, I decided to venture into those woods alone. The forest had been my escape throughout my childhood, a place where I used to hide and dream. But this time my familiar sanctuary took on an eerie ambience. The whispers of the leaves rustling in the wind sounded like warnings, as if nature itself tried to caution me about this impending encounter. Navigating cautiously through the dense undergrowth, I felt my heart pounding against my chest with each step. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was walking into the unknown. towards something I couldn't explain. Yet, there was a strange kinship I felt toward this supernatural being, as if it were silently beckoning me to unravel the mysteries that lay within. After what seemed like both an eternity and mere moments, I stumbled upon a peaceful clearing, engulfed in an ethereal glow. The dog-headed creature stood there, tall and majestic, its presence commanding utmost respect. Its eyes, a vivid shade of amber, locked with mine, conveying a sense of familiarity and understanding that words failed to capture. For what felt like hours, we stood in silent communion. The air crackled with an intangible energy, and I surrendered myself to the enchantment surrounding us. It was as if this magnificent creature held the answers to questions that I had yet to ask, gently guiding me toward my path in life. Days turned into weeks, and the mysterious creature became a constant in my existence. Our encounters became routine, each one a moment of catharsis and soulful introspection. It became clear that this enigmatic being existed not only to bewilder me, but also to guide me as I embarked upon this new phase of my life. As I prepared to leave for college, bidding farewell to the familiarity of my childhood home, my friend, this dog-headed creature, remains my silent companion. In its presence, I find solace, wisdom, and the confidence to embrace the unknown boldly. What I once feared has transformed into an embrace of the extraordinary, a testament to the awe-inspiring wonders that this world holds. And so, with a gentle touch of this mysterious creature guiding me toward my future, I step into adulthood, ready to face the challenges that lie ahead. As I cast one last glance at the woods behind my house, I carry gratitude for the strange and wondrous encounters that shaped my transition from a high school student to a seeker of the extraordinary. What would we do without Godzilla Tim? We couldn't continue the show without him. Please join me in thanking Godzilla Tim for being a channel member for so long. In fact, he's one of the most important supporters that this channel has ever had. And if you'd like to become as important to our history as Godzilla Tim in Great Britain, then I suppose you'd better listen to what this next guy has to say. Hank? Thanks, Biggie. And thanks to all of you for watching this far. If you liked it, please click like. If you'd like to see more of our work, please subscribe. And also click that bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we put out a new episode. To become an executive producer, you can donate to us through the thanks button under each of our videos or through our paypal.me/PeterBernard209 page. To receive cool perks like secret uncensored Dogman episodes far too wild to ever run on this channel, you can become a YouTube channel member by clicking the join button, or join our PayPal subscribers club at peterbernard.com. Joining either at the $3 a month level or above gets you access to our over 25 hours of secret uncensored Dogman stories available nowhere else. Do you have a scary story about Dogman or some other kind of high strangeness that happened to you? Let us know by emailing us at scarystoriesnyc@gmail.com or by leaving us a voicemail message at 804-LA-SCARY. You may need to call back on that one. It cuts off after, I think, 3 minutes. And if you don't want to do any of that stuff, thank you for simply watching to the end. Good night, and have a scary tomorrow.
Come back for more scary stories.